Birds. Their melodious calls often wake us. The way they soar, gliding effortlessly in the sky, is both uplifting and inspiring. Envy is not an emotion that many animals can stir in us, but birds have made us jealous for thousands of years. Their gravity-defying freedom, a source of wonder and enchantment. Apart from being incredibly diverse, they are also exceedingly numerous. 9,000 to 10,000 bird species are thought to exist around the globe. And new research suggests there could easily be double that. A decade ago, scientists estimated there were 200 to 400 billion individual birds across the planet. Not surprising, knowing that birds occupy every available niche on every continent. From the largest to the smallest, birds are a natural success story. One that spans millions of years. Biologically, birds are endothermic vertebrates, animals with a backbone that can maintain their body temperature no matter the weather. Being warm-blooded is vital for birds. It allows them to maintain the high levels of energy needed for flight. As a group, they belong to the class Aves, Latin for bird. Feathers are just one of the basic characteristics that define this class of animals. Where there are feathers, there are wings. True, not all birds can fly, but they do all have a pair of wings attached to pectoral or chest muscles. Most use their modified forelimbs to soar through the air. But some wings are special. They can fly underwater. Eggs are next on the Aves checklist. Specifically, hard-shelled eggs. The surprisingly robust vessels that house developing young. Their tapered shape stopping them from rolling out of a nest and making a snug fit with each other to help maintain warmth. Another special feature of birds is an internal one, their bones. Instead of marrow, many bones in a bird's skeleton are hollow, filled with air sacs reinforced by a network of struts. The result, a strong, light framework, perfect for flight. When they are on ground level, birds typically get about in a bipedal fashion. The length of their limbs and the shape of their feet as varied as the environments that birds inhabit. What appears to be a backward knee on a flamingo is actually its ankle, so in effect, the bird is tippy-toeing through the shallows. While they may not have teeth, birds have the next best thing, a bill or beak. They're not only used for eating, but also in grooming, defense, and even courtship. These hardy facial structures are composed of keratin, the same fibrous protein that makes up hair, feathers, and claws. Specialized beak shapes are highly developed tools for eating. Spoonbills swing their broad, flat, spatula-like bills side to side, partly opened as they wade. The bill's sensitive tip detects food at the slightest touch and snaps shut on any morsel. Effective, but slow. Spoonbills spend hours a day feeding. Roughly half of all bird species found in the world today are passerines, or songbirds. A bird's vocal organ is called a syrinx. Located where the windpipe forks off to the lungs, it allows birds to produce more than one sound at a time. Which enables them to create such complex songs. Bird families number in the hundreds. To help navigate this massively diverse class, some common but broad groupings will help to identify the amazing variety of birds that inhabit our world. Songbirds can weigh as little as half a teaspoon of sugar and up to about 1.5 kilos, and are commonly known as perching birds, thanks to the layout of their grasping feet. Three forward-pointing toes, plus one larger toe at the back, means they can get a tight grip when perching. The northern mockingbird is the champion of vocal gymnastics. Able to mimic a wide variety of other birds and also cats, dogs, and insects. The more diverse their vocal range, the more likely they are to find and keep a mate. Usually monogamous, females constantly evaluate their mate's performance, especially when an unmated male moves in nearby. Birds of prey are the champions of the skies, top-tier hunters. This formidable group come armed with sharp, hooked beaks, strong, brawny legs, and razor-like talons. Their eyesight is just as sharp, allowing them to detect their prey while on the wing. Bald eagles have 4 talons on each foot. The rear talon, called a hallux, is longer and points forward. The front talons hold the prey immobile, while the hallux pierces the vital areas. These hunters and scavengers are also known as raptors, a name that means to seize or take by force. Wading birds present a far more tranquil image as they roam the water's edge. Some are more lanky than others, but all are perfectly adapted to walk the shallows of their feeding grounds. Most of these birds breed on land, never straying far from waterways. The Australasian grebe makes things a little harder as it builds its nests out of decaying vegetation, floating on the waterways. The hard work pays off, because as the amount of vegetable matter builds up, it gives off heat, helping to incubate the eggs. Wading birds vary greatly, and not just in body size. Beaks and bills come in a vast range of shapes to best suit the owner's appetite. A heron's powerful beak is perfect for striking at small fish in the shallows, their long neck held in readiness in an S shape, able to shoot out with startling speed. Waterfowl, as the name suggests, are very much at home on the water. With their characteristic webbed feet, wide, buoyant bodies and flat bills. True, waddling makes them appear a little clumsy on land. Add water, and these birds hit their stride. A picture of effortless grace as they glide along the surface. Swans are the largest of the waterfowl, weighing up to 15 kilos. Their impressive size gives them their majestic presence. In Europe, white swans were common, and the only swans ever heard of until the surprising discovery in the late 1700s of the now iconic black swans of Western Australia. Seabirds spend their life in and around the great saltwater oceans of the planet. Common features include webbed feet, waterproof feathers, and a healthy appetite for seafood. Seabirds truly live up to their name, surviving and thriving in some of the harshest conditions, some only coming ashore to breed. Skuas are some of the hardiest. About the size of a large seagull, this tough breed live and raise their young all around continental Antarctica. They are excellent flyers and have been seen as far inland as the South Pole. Tropical birds are at the other extreme of climate. A dazzling mix of colors is common. Bright greens and yellows helping to camouflage birds in the multicolored canopies of the rainforest. Typically equipped with large, strong beaks for protection and to crack hard nuts and seeds that make up part of their diet. Tropical birds have zygodactyl feet with 2 toes facing forward and 2 to the rear. Being able to wrap their entire foot around a branch creates a broad, solid perching position. Tropical birds are vocal, but their harsh calls are not that melodious. They do make up for it in other ways, known for their spirited, curious natures, their intelligence and longevity. The blue and yellow macaw of South America, like many parrots, has a long lifespan in the wild. Mating for life, a parrot pair could spend 35 years together. Game birds are amongst the most fascinating in nature. They have large, plump bodies and aren't the best flyers, spending most of their time on the ground. But they do know how to catch attention. The mating rituals of some are amongst the most elaborate in the bird world. Greater sage grouse are notable for their courtship rituals. Males performing their strutting display for several hours in the morning and evening during spring. The females pick the most attractive dancer, and the dominant males will breed with 80% of the female population. It's common among game birds to be polygynous, males maintaining a harem of females to breed with. Many game birds, like the common pheasant, build their nests on the ground in a scrape, but will roost in trees at night for protection. They are short-distance flyers, preferring to run, but chicks are ready to fly within 12 to 14 days of hatching.